Kind of a little bit of the style of play. I mean, in college and even in Dallas a little bit, but certainly in college, she was a post player who was used to the running game, running the middle lane of the floor and getting early post ups. If she was involved in pick and rolls, rolling to the basket, she's a good finisher around the basket. She's worked on her face up game and extended her range, but I was intrigued enough to see how she fit into our system. I know that she picks things up quickly, and she has. And so I feel like, tomorrow will be, I don't know how many minutes she'll play tomorrow, but she's going to play and, just see how it goes this week. Yeah, it's just tied to the fact that Elena and Erica are out. So the rule is that one player has to be out at least 10 games from the time. And it can be, and you have to have, 4 games remaining of those 10 when you get the hardship. So Elena's way past qualifying for the first part of it, and we know that she's going to be out at least 4 more games. So that's the first one, and then the second player has to be missed 1 game and then missed at least 3 more. And we know with Erica's surgery that that's what's going to happen. When one of them come back, she has to be waived. You could then re-sign her on a 7-day. You could also waive earlier if the need arises where you can do it, and then re-sign. Next, starting on the 1st of July, you can start signing 7-day contracts. And so literally you could waive a player this week at the end of the week. The guaranteed contract date is this coming Sunday, I believe, or Monday. I think maybe it's Monday. And then if you waive somebody, you can bring them back 48 hours later on 7-day contracts. So we may be playing with the roster a little bit. I think, a lot of times when we talk about players, we talk about their offense, and, everybody sees that as the obvious things. She, whether she's scoring on the block or facing up and doing all those things. But I think that, the defensive part has been very underrated. She has, fit in perfectly to, help on pick and rolls and call out coverages. She's a terrific defensive rebounder and outlet passer. And so you start your break by playing good defense, don't give teams second shots, and, get out and run. And I think that, she's always been a really, really high-end rebounder, but I think it shows up in how we play because we're not giving up a lot of second shots to teams. And, she's been very, very good in our pick and roll coverage. Well, it's pretty exciting. I mean, I was kind of going on the assumption all along. I mean, I didn't think I was jumping the gun that Tina was going to make the team. She's a past Olympian. Her resume speaks for itself, and she's obviously had a very dominant season this year. But you don't know how many of the younger players they're ever going to pick, and you don't know, what the criteria is sometimes. The head coach of the team doesn't get to select the team. It's a committee. And so, there's different points of view on the committee. But I have been a big booster of her to get into this program a couple of years ago. And once she got in, she's done the work for them. I probably, that was one of my most emotional moments of the season, finding out this weekend that she had made the team. It's just it's a great testament to all the work she's put in. And, I think when she went into the process this past year and a half or so, was with the hope that she would impress people enough that if she didn't make this one, that, it was more kind of like, okay, the next Olympics 3 years from now, she would be one of the, up and coming, kind of mainstays. But making it this time, I think it's an incredible thing. And I've told her, I mean, it's one of the best experiences in my life in basketball. And I'm thrilled that she'll get to go and experience it. And for us in general, I mean, to have, 4 Olympic players on our team, it'll make our practices interesting during the break because we won't have those guys. But I'm just so happy for them to, to have this opportunity. Not at the moment because she's having good workouts. I mean, things can change. I just think I told you all before when she put out the time that she was going to play, on first game, that was a nice wish. but I don't think it was one of those things that you ever heard come out of my mouth. I've always felt that this was going to take some time. I had hoped that it would be, closer to being now, but having watched the workouts, I see improvement every day. She feels upbeat about it. And so, yeah, I mean, until she's on the court playing, everybody's going to be concerned. But I think that, she's not having setbacks right now. And I think that's positive. And she's in a good place, I think, mentally with all of it right now. Probably frustrated, 4 or 5 weeks ago, but I think now it's different.
For me personally, it means a lot just to be able to, represent my country. In 1996, I was able to watch that gold medal game. I remember it vividly. I remember my eyes being wide open, sitting down and watching that game and just thinking to myself, wow, like, I'm starting to love basketball and seeing women that look like me be on this big stage. I wonder if I could aspire to be there. And then the following year, the WNBA starts. So I just don't take my position for granted. I know the work I put in. I remember starting with USA Basketball from like high school USA development camp and all of that. So it just means a lot to me to be able to be on the top of the top stage with the most elite players alongside of me. So every time I speak to Miss Carroll, this is the third phone call, I'm always emotional. So I'm just thankful. I feel like, throughout my career, I've been able to get better each and every single year. I think there's always been some type of improvement. And so for me, I think I'm just doing what I've been doing year in and year out. This year is definitely different just because I didn't play last year. So, the hunger is there, wanting to compete, missing being in the locker rooms and all of that. But outside of that, I think I'm just doing what I normally do throughout the days and the games of my career. My advice to any of the first years, I think it's 6 of them, especially Ariel, is less is always more. Normally when you're with the Olympic team, you normally check who you are for your WNBA team at the door. And it's just more so what you can do for us to achieve to win, the actual games that we need to win to get to the gold medal game. It's just all those little things. And then it just always comes together. And I think that's the beauty of this Olympic team. We don't have the leisure of being able to train together as much as other countries do. So the fact that we could be selfless, and it's not just about what you can do on the court, but it's just also, it's about your character and the person you are as well. So it just definitely is full circle when you're on this team. But that'll be the best advice to any of the first years is just less is always more when you're on this team.